Aloha and mahalo for joining me. I'm Janin. And if you're new here, welcome. E komo mai. That's how you say welcome in Hawaiian. And if you've been listening to my podcast for a while, thank you so much. I just really appreciate it. And I'm so happy that, I have this opportunity to share my thoughts with you because I want to tell you how much I have enjoyed making all these podcast episodes all these years. It's been 6 years and time just flies. It's amazing. I started this podcast teaching and talking about money and finances and mindset. And then I started teaching more about how to dress. And then I also talked a lot about like you valuing yourself, which is still important. And I'm still going to definitely talk about that because valuing yourself is something I care deeply about. And I've been working on that myself too. And what I've been doing now, though, is I've been teaching and coaching creative women entrepreneurs who have just started their own businesses. And I also want to help women who know they have a God-given creative side that's like bursting to be set free and they want to start a business too. So I've been just helping these wonderful women. And there are so many women who really want to make money in their businesses and to be able to support themselves or to support their families. Especially at this time, we really need to start focusing on how like you can bring in money because a lot of people have lost their jobs with this pandemic going on. And so I really want to help those women who need to bring in income now. Like some people are really needing income like immediately. Like they don't have 6 months to wait or they can't wait for something else to happen. And so if you know that's you and you recognize that you have this creative gift and maybe you have a zest and excitement for creating, I want to tell you now is the time. Don't wait. It's time for you to use those God given creative gifts. It doesn't really matter what you're creating or whatever kind of creative business you want to start. Just start now. I can't emphasize that enough. You have to just start. Okay, like there is no one specific creative business. We all have different types of creative businesses that exist in this world. And that's what's so fabulous about being creative and having your own business is that there is no one thing that you can do. Like you can do anything that you put your heart and your soul into, and you'll see what amazing things come out of it. It's just this feeling that is hard to describe when you have your own business. Like it's like if I can describe it, it would be like a sense of freedom and fulfillment. And it just makes you so proud of what you're creating because it's you bringing something to life. Like, like I like to mention, like things exist in the spiritual, and when you're creating, you're making it come alive into the physical. And there's something that's so exciting about that, and it's so deep and moving. And you're given these creative gifts to help you. Now, I always talk about how creative gifts were given to you by God, and they were given to you to bless you and to bless other people. They're not just meant to be stuck inside of you, inside of your head, or in your heart. Like, if you know you have something creative in you, like, just go for it. I want to be here to help you, to hold your hand. And I want to be here to support you and guide you and coach you. I have coaching available for you because it's really important that, like I said, that you take action right now. And especially if you need to make money to support yourself or your family, like I want you to connect with me right now. Send me an email at my email address at aloha@janinjohnston.com. And, do this for yourself because I want to help you get out of the stress because, when you don't have money coming in, it can be very, very stressful. You can lose sleep over it. You can fight with your family. There's just a lot of tension, and sometimes you may get a knot in your stomach. I've been through all of those things before. Like, I know what it's like to have my own business and to make money and then not make money. And then, like, it's so stressful because, like, you don't know what to do. Back in the day when I started my business, like over 25 years ago now, I didn't have a business coach. Like back then, there was no such thing as coaching and business coaching, and we didn't have the internet, we didn't have cell phones. And you know what's so funny? It seems like it was like 100 years ago that I started my business back in the dinosaur age or something. But it's it's just crazy to think that here in this 21st century, we have all this amazing technology. We have the internet and cell phones. We have pretty much a computer in our purses and our pockets that we're walking around with every day and we can't seem to let go of. So we have so much available to us, and I love it. I think it's so exciting, and I want you to get excited too about all that's possible. Like, I'm all about possibilities. I love talking with women and helping them to realize what they can do with their creative gifts. And I just think women and people are fascinating. I love talking to people. But, I want to be able to share all the knowledge that I have, that I've experienced. And, I don't have okay, so let me back up here. I had a sewing and a craft business for over 25 years. And, I've learned a lot because back then when I started, when I made something or sold something, we would have to either go to craft fairs to sell it or through word of mouth. And then I would get personal sewing clients who would want me to sew something for them. And then I also was teaching people how to sew, how to use their sewing machines, things like that. I've learned a lot because back then we had to do things the hard way. Everything was long, it was a long process, it was very time intensive. But we don't have that problem now with the internet. We can create a business where you can actually sell something online, or you can teach something online and reach so many people all around the world. You're not just limited to the people that live in your area or your community or your city or your state. You and we can touch people from around the world and sell what we have or teach what we know. And I'm so excited because I wish we had the internet over 25 years ago when I started my business. Probably would have not shed so many tears and made a lot of mistakes that I didn't know that I made until after, because I didn't know. I didn't have anyone to help me or guide me or anything like that. So we have to stand together and we have to help each other. It's a great time. It's a great time in history, even though we have so much craziness going on in the world. It's a great time to stand up for what you believe in, and it's time to stand up for what you want to create and just share that. Okay, we have to stand up together and help each other. And each week in my podcast, I'm going to be I'm going to be bringing you some tips and ideas and things to help you in your life and in your business, because it's time for you to design and create a life and business you can be proud of. It's time, ladies, to call in your creative and set it free. And for that reason, I renamed this podcast, and the new name is going to be it is called Called to Create Podcast, because I know that you are being called for a reason. Nothing happens by chance. There's a reason for everything. Everything that happens in this world, there's a reason. There's a reason why you are given the creative gifts you have. All right, so I want you to remember that. And I also want to ask you to please share this podcast with anyone who you know would get great value out of listening to it. If you know someone who wants to start a creative business, or if they have one but they're kind of stuck, they're not sure what to do or where to get help from, please send this podcast to them. Send my message their way. If they need help, I want to be here to help, because it just is so exciting for me to help women and see their dream and gifts come alive. It's just indescribable. But thank you so much. And you know what? Can you please give me a rating and review for this podcast? If you're listening to it on your phone, all you have to do is scroll down to the very bottom of my podcast page on your phone. And if you're listening to it through the Apple app, the Apple Podcast app, it's not called iTunes anymore. I keep wanting to say iTunes, but you just scroll down to the bottom and you can give me a rating and review, and screenshot it and send me a message. If you're on Instagram, you can send it to me on Instagram and tag me at Janin Johnston. And I would be so appreciative. I want to thank you, because I believe we all have to help each other and stick together. And that's what makes life so fulfilling and rewarding. All right, ladies, friends, thank you so much for being here. And I will see you again. Well, I will not see you, but I will talk to you again. And I hope you have a great day. Aloha.